Hey there, Bruins fans. Scott Travis here. And I'll tell you what, this is my Bruins preview. Bruins New York Rangers. Bruins come in at 3-3-0 on the season. And the Rangers come in at 4-2-0 on the season. And I got to tell you right now, folks, last night's game where Tuukka Rask was out hurt, we don't know what's going on with him. There's rumors that he could actually need knee surgery. So we're not sure why he's not in the lineup. I had said in some of my posts and whatnot that if he wasn't needing surgery or on the cusp of being out for a while, he should have played last night and he should have played tonight if he's going to be the starting goaltender. But apparently he is hurt and they're hoping he can be back for Saturday, but we'll see what happens. In any event, last night's game with the Wild was terrible. Young Malcolm Subban, a first-round pick in 2012, again showing I don't think he's got a future as a goaltender with the Bruins. He struggled in Providence this year, 0-3-1, getting pulled a couple of times. He got pulled last night after giving up 3 goals. First goal, you could say, it was a redirect off a skate. Okay, maybe that wasn't his fault. The second one, the guy was in alone, but even Subban admitted afterwards he shouldn't have been going down so early, and the guy did make a nice shot upstairs. The third goal, there's no excuse. It was just a one-timer, and he whiffed on it with his catching glove. So that was it for him. He got yanked, and Zane McIntyre came in. He ended up with a deflection and another rebound where somebody wasn't covered. So the Bruins' defense wasn't very good. They didn't really do much of anything good last night in the game versus the Wild. They need to turn that around in a hurry. Tonight, McIntyre is going to make his first NHL start. He'll be in net. Subban's going to be his backup, as both Hudobin and Rask are out. Hudobin's out with what's believed to be a hand injury for 3 weeks. So Bruins down to their third and fourth goaltenders. Not exactly something they drew up. So we'll see what happens. My concerns, I still think Claude Julien is the wrong coach for this team. I think moving forward, they're starting to bring these young players in. And they're starting, Rob O'Gara gets sent to Providence, and Adam McQuaid comes in, and he's horrendous again. And he cross-checks a guy, takes a penalty, and sends the guy into Krejci. While the guy's falling, he high sticks Krejci in the mouth, and Krejci lands kind of weird on his ankle. We don't need Adam McQuaid. We don't need a McQuaid or a Kevin Miller. They're not NHL caliber players. That's not what we need. We need solid Zdeno, Chara, good defenseman if he's not out there playing half the game. Luckily, Brandon Carlo has been paired with him, the young 19-year-old. He's looked excellent so far. But the Bruins need a better overall team game, team defense. They need to get better performances out of their team, or they're really going to struggle, and they're not going to make the playoffs for the third straight year. And that's why I think moving forward, if the Bruins go no playoffs again 3 years in a row, Claude Julien is going to be fired. You might even see Don Sweeney and Cam Neely gone as well. So if you're going to fire Claude Julien anyway, at least they did bring up Bruce Cassidy. So why not just turn it over to Cassidy, who's coached a lot of these young kids in Providence the last couple of years and can get the best out of young players. I say make the move sooner rather than later, because there's no point in continuing where we are and going nowhere and still not making the playoffs and playing guys like Dominic Moore and Riley Nash, who are not long-term. They're not going to be on the Bruins when the Bruins win the Cup, so there's really no point in playing them. Make sure you get Spooner the playing time. He was back in last night as a third liner. David Backes, unfortunately, got bad news on him, and his absence cost the Bruins dearly in that when they got down a couple of goals, nobody was there to really get the team going and fired up to come back. So we'll feel his absence. He's been, the word today was he had some surgery, I'm not sure which elbow, but on a bursa sac kind of thing, and that's painful. That's why they were saying it was minor, but we'll see what happens. He's going to be out for probably a week or so. They're thinking now. They were hoping to get him back sooner than that. But he had the surgery a couple days ago on Monday. So we'll see what happens with him. But my concern overall is this Bruins team trying to play Claude Julien's system, but up-tempo and mixing all these things in. That's not what Claude Julien coaches. I just think it's the wrong mix. I really am concerned. I don't think this team is going to make the playoffs. I really don't, especially if Backes misses a lot of time. If Rask does need some kind of knee surgery, not that I'm a big fan of his, and if you guys follow me, you know I'm not at all, but if he's out for a while and we're down with Hudobin out, we're down to these younger kids who, really haven't proven themselves, this is going to get ugly fast, and it could start tonight in New York. Hopefully we get a surprise. Hopefully McIntyre, fired up by playing his first NHL game. that could be something that the team wants to rally around in front of him. It may actually make them simplify things and play well. We can't just rely on the top line of Brad Marchand, Patrice, Bergeron, and David Pastrnak to do all the scoring. And it does hurt that David Krejci's coming off the hip surgery. David Backes is out. We'll see what happens. If we take a look at the lines for tonight, it's going to be the first line is intact. Matt Beleskey, who hasn't really gotten anything accomplished offensively. I like the way he plays. He plays hard. He plays aggressive. And he plays, every single game. He just can't score any points. So we need to get him going. He's going to play on the left wing. And he's going to be out there with Krejci and Danton Heinen. The kid, I think it's taken him a little while to adjust, but I'm still a Danton Heinen fan. I've followed into what his background is and so forth. So we'll see what he can do. The third line, we're not really setting up Ryan Spooner for success. He's going to be centering Dominic Moore and Jimmy Hayes. Jimmy Hayes, I think, is a bust, and I think it's time the Bruins just figure out this guy isn't going to ever be what they want him to be. He's got size, and he just plays like he's a small guy. He doesn't have a nasty edge to him, nothing. I don't know what the problem is with the guy, but he doesn't. And then the fourth line, Noel Acciari took the hit from behind last night. He's on that line. They're going to, supposedly Riley Nash is going to center it. And Tim Schaller, another young kid, we're going to see what he can do. That's the fourth line. You don't expect a lot of your fourth line. Just they don't want to be a minus. And if they can go out and provide a little bit of a spark here and there, that's good. The defense has to be much better than it was last night. Chara, like I mentioned earlier, is playing with Carlo. Torey, Krug playing with McQuaid. McQuaid, why we signed him, I think it was $10-11 million deal for him, 4 years. Kevin Miller, 4 years, 10 million. Just ridiculous contracts. These are minor league defensemen. They don't, they have a toughness, and they might even be inspirational, a little bit of a leader, and they like to fight and all that, but they can't play the game, so I'm not really sure what that's about. And then the third pairing, John Michael Liles, the veteran. It's a good spot for him on that third pairing, playing with the youngster Colin Miller. I think that's actually a pretty good pairing. And then, like I mentioned, McIntyre and net. The Rangers come at us, so I'm not going to go through their lineup. You'll see it when the game starts. But the veteran Henrik Lundqvist in net always gives the Bruins and everybody else trouble because he's well paid and he's actually good. Where I talk about Rask getting paid $7 million and his numbers are not even close to being average. So we'll see what happens tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. I got my Celtics shirt on because the Celtics have their home opener tonight as well against the Brooklyn Nets. That's game's underway. We'll see what happens. We're hoping that the Bruins can get things turned around and at least play a system and play to the best of what they have for talent and figure out how to use it and try to compete in this league because we've seen it the last 2 years. If you give up points early in the season, you can miss the playoffs by either being tied or a point behind and losing the tiebreaker. So every single point counts. So let's hope Boston gets it figured out soon. And we'll see what happens. Go Bruins. Go Celtics. I'll be watching all the action tonight. The World Series Game 2 is underway. And if you're not already, make sure you guys follow me on Scott Travis Sports News, on Facebook, on YouTube. And I'm at Scott Travis SN. I cover all the New England teams and all the big sports stories of the day. Like I said, like the World Series and everything else. Patriots updates, everything you need, all in one spot. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Go Bruins, go Celtics, and I'm hoping for a good World Series. Cubs, let's see if they can even it up to keep it interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.